I'm pretty excited to start the series after the intro video, so let's hop right into the first low-level mechanic on the list, which is power hits. By the way, throughout the video, I'll be referring to power hits as power shots, hard hits, boomers, bangers, clangers, bombs, punts, power clears, and probably some other similar words. Just know it means all the same. So why even make a video about hitting the ball? Hitting the ball better is the most obvious skill that everyone needs in order to rank up. Well, a big reason for discussing power hits is that all ranks everywhere still practice hitting the ball harder. Maybe the champ level players approach shots from saucy angles, but you can be sure they're continually trying to get more power in their clears and their shots. And a big reason you should watch a video about hitting the ball better is because, well, you still need to learn how to hit the ball better. So here we go. For the sake of simplicity, let's break down power shots into a few boringly named sections: power shot mechanics, goalie progression, and defensive tactics. So if you haven't noticed, the hardest hit shots are the ones that come just after the ball bounces off of the ground or the wall. Gaining power by redirecting the ball quickly is built into Rocket League physics. The best way to leverage those physics to your advantage is to practice intentionally timing your shots to be just after the ball bounces. To practice this, you can hop into aerial training and instead of hitting the ball in the air, try to hit the ball just after it touches the ground. Timing your location and dodge won't be easy at first, which is why training will be a better place to practice. As the ball is in the air, try to predict exactly where the ball will land. The faster you can calculate the ball's next ground contact, the faster you can get into position for the shot. In the beginning, you should focus on just making contact and not whiffing. This means attacking the ball slower at first, but then gradually gaining speed towards the ball each attempt without sacrificing your accuracy. If power hits were steak, getting ball height would be the potatoes. Popping the ball up limits your opponent's ability to hit their next shot accurately and makes their counter more difficult. You can get more height on the ball by aiming for the lower half of the ball as it comes to you. The lower you can make contact, the higher the ball will go. Hitting the ball hard when it's rolling is a completely different mechanic. In this scenario, no dodge is needed, and you'll just need to work on aiming your shot by redirecting it off of your nose or front corners as you run into the ball. The speed in which the ball meets your car and the speed you are traveling are the only factors that decide how hard you'll hit the rolling ball. And just a warning, you want to be absolutely sure that the ball is rolling. Even just a bit of bounce could send the ball over your car, especially when using cars with flatter hitboxes. Let's take a look at deeper goalie progression and discuss incorporating power hits during saves while you're in the net. In the beginning, you were probably hustling back to the goal line and then centering yourself to be ready for anything. Eventually, you started to angle yourself towards the ball while covering as much of the goal as you could while only being interested in saving the ball. But now, you've learned that saving the ball is only half of the play. Opponents are sitting just outside of the net for that second opportunity. The other half of saving the ball is clearing the ball hard enough to reduce follow-up shots and create counterattacks for your team. Adjusting your approach to goalie so you can clear the ball better and farther can be a bit scary because you're no longer hitting the ball dead center. But you should be trying to clear the ball far and hard as soon as you feel comfortable aiming redirected shots. As discussed, the sides, tops, and especially your wheels do not boom the ball well, so you need to be positioning yourself to boom the ball with the nose of your car or the corners before it comes your way. While you're in goal, you're constantly making small micro adjustments to position waiting for the shot. The one question on your mind the whole time should be, how am I going to hit this out hard? You should be waiting in the goal, not on the goal line. And this might be a little disorienting at first, but the crossbar is higher than it feels when you're camping out in there, so don't worry about hitting it when you jump. At lower levels, clearing the ball down the middle will be fine, but eventually you're going to want to clear away from the defense and towards your own team to quickly begin a counterattack. If you see an earlier and safer opportunity to clear the ball to the corner, or you're worried about those sharks that are just outside of the goal box, don't risk it and simply clear the ball early to the side. You may not be relieving your team of as much stress as you'd like, but just know nothing is worse than letting in a goal. Okay, so this last section is a little more conceptual about defensive tactics, and we may need to go beyond hitting the ball hard. But since we're discussing beginning mechanics, we also need to discuss thought processes and a little bit of theory. Before you can successfully slow the game down and try to hit the ball hard after it bounces, you need to be aware of the players around you. So when you approach a chance to boom the ball, you need to be certain that you'll have time. If it doesn't look like other players will get to the ball before you, then you're free to set up your shot. But if you've already committed to waiting for the ball to bounce and you're beaten by an opponent, it's going to be really bad. By that point, your team was already positioning themselves on offense and trusting that you were going to hit the ball well. A complete whiff or someone beating you to the ball will be absolutely detrimental. Advanced power shot methods include pinch shots and backboard clears, but it's going to be a while until you can depend on these skills in competitive play. For now, just follow this thought process. Number 1, do I have time to wait for the ball to bounce? If not, fly to the ball and clear it, being sure to beat your opponent in that 50-50. If you do have time, then number 2, what is my target? If you're just punting to relieve stress, just hit it hard, but try to avoid hitting it to your opponent and start to look for players to pass to downfield. And last, can I follow this up? Sometimes the next best hit will be yours, so you'll need to catch up to the ball and take action. But most of the time, your team will catch up to your boomer, which means you should be getting in position for a center or a pass, or you should be hanging back slightly on defense in case they lose the next 50-50. Once your shot is in the air, your teammates should have reacted, and you'll really just need to be filling in whatever role they leave for you. So I think that's a pretty good foundation for power hits. There's a lot more to it than it looks, and the mechanics are continually being perfected throughout your progression, since there's an unlimited amount of angles in Rocket League. I hope this gives you some of an idea of how to start practicing the big clears. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know some of the training that you've done to help out your power hits in the comments below. We all progress differently, and there's all sorts of strategies to practice things like this, which is why these tutorials are more of a well-rounded guide than they are perfect how-to documents. As always, the more we talk about Rocket League, the better we all get. Cheers, guys.